Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video, and in this video I will be reviewing the Kylo Ren Lego Command Shuttle, and a thing of beauty it certainly is. And let's just have a quick look at it, and as I do that, I'm interested what you guys thought of the movie. I want to keep this review to the set rather than the movie itself, but personally, I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed the movie as a Star Wars fan, but I have to say I was disappointed. I walked out of the cinema just a little bit disappointed that it wasn't as imaginative as I'd hoped. I mean, the worlds were they were kind of meh. The new characters were kind of meh. The story was kind of meh. Like it didn't really. I don't think it really added a lot of elements to the Star Wars universe, and I understand, why why Disney did that. They wanted to sort of stick to the script, but I don't know. I just sort of wanted more different stuff. I mean, we've had X-wings and TIE fighters. I mean, I'm happy to go on record. I know a lot of people won't agree with me, but I actually really liked the prequel trilogies. I know Phantom Menace was a bit, but Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, I really liked them. So I hope that the future Disney movies, they will sort of, be a little bit more adventurous. But anyway, one of the great things, of course, with The Force Awakens was this great ship. It's kind of a cousin, I guess, of the Imperial Shuttle. But anyway, let's get into the review of this set. I hope you like my really fancy turntable there. So firstly, the price. Just talking about price of this set. It was 140. It was 14,000 yen in Japan. I'm filming this in Japan, which is about 140 US dollars. Pretty expensive, I would say. Yeah, I mean, Lego is expensive. Star Wars Lego is more expensive than general Lego, and Force Awakens Lego was definitely another step up again. But once the movie was released, these things, like pretty much most of the Force Awakens set, TIE fighters didn't sell that well because they were very expensive, but pretty much all the other sets sold extremely well, and this basically just sold out in Japan. And I actually saw the Lego actually released their annual report the other day, and the Millennium Falcon was one of the top 5 selling sets for the entire year, even though it was released in September. So I don't think they sort of pro-rata that. I think that was like nominal numbers. So, Lego clearly know what they can get away with charging, and if they're selling, then yeah, it is what it is. But I think it is pretty expensive. But there you go. So in terms of the displayability of this set, I think big sets display well, and this is a big set. From the top to the bottom, it is 40 centimeters. I don't know what that is in inches. You guys can do the conversion, but that is a comparison. That's an iPhone 5K, so you can see, it's big. And again, just a comparison with a minifigure, it is a big set. So yeah, so it displays very well. It looks very industrial, it looks very mechanical. I know it's not really a sleek, sexy sort of spaceship, but to me, I like it because it looks very sort of industrial and mechanical, and I really like it. There is, though, one very, very, very big problem with how to display this set, and that is it does not go into the V shape that it should in the movie. I mean, that's really the way that you're going to want to display this. It was a huge design flaw with this set. But the good news is that it's actually not very difficult to change it. Not very difficult at all. And rather than talk about that in this video, I've actually made a separate video showing how to modify it. It's not difficult. You don't need to buy any extra pieces. You can use everything that you get with this set. And I thought I was kind of being nerdy, about yeah, it doesn't go in the V shape, but I tell you what, it looks so much better when you have it in that V sort of design. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about that anymore in this video, but it's quite ridiculous that Lego did not actually build that functionality in this one. Even if there's, people will say, oh, well, Disney didn't give them, the right material. Well, you got to get it right no matter what. And this came out 3 months before the movie, which you don't really need it that soon before. But otherwise, it displays well. You can actually buy like acrylic stands. I've seen people on eBay, and that'll sort of sit up, and that way you can have the little winglets at the bottom. You can see there, you can have them folded out, and do that as well if your heart so desires. But does look great, I guarantee you that. In terms of the playability, there are quite a few things that sort of move around and stuff. So firstly, not surprisingly, the lid, or the roof, whatever you want to call it, opens up, and you can see it's pretty roomy. You can get quite a few minifigures in there, and some really nice tiles that you actually get here. You can see the control panel, and where were the other ones? In here. So you get some nice detail in there, and the back also opens up. I actually quite like how they did that, having sort of the 2 doors. I know some people may not like it, but I personally quite like it. And you get a couple more hooks there to put stuff on. And then the wings have this very cool feature, which you've probably seen already, but there's this sort of ball joint that locks in there, and you just pull that out, and then you just turn it, and the wing comes down like such. And obviously you can do the same thing on the other side. Sometimes it does have a little bit of trouble locking back in. You can see that's sort of gone a little bit awkward, so you've got to use your hand to fix that up. So it's not quite perfect, but it's pretty cool that they did that. Actually, it's ironic that they did the difficult part, but they didn't actually do the easy part of making them go out into the V shape. Now the difference in height is actually quite substantial. With the wings down, it's about 28 centimeters from top to bottom. With the wings up, it's about 40 centimeters. So that means that if you want to have this like inside a shelf rather than just sitting on top, it does have a very practical use that you can get this to fit inside. The other playable feature you get here is there are some spring-loaded missiles, and to fire them, all you have to do is press this, and it will fire. And that just shot probably about 3 meters. So it actually does have a bit of grunt to it. You do get a spare one. I kind of wish they gave you 2 spare ones. I mean, as an adult, I'm not really going to play with that feature, but kids are definitely going to play with it, and they're going to lose them. They're quite brittle. They could break. Your dog might chew it or something. If you're playing with it outside, and it gets in the grass, you'll probably lose it. So kids probably are going to lose them, so 2 extra would have been good. I also am surprised why they made them green. I mean, this is like an empire, or they call it the First Order now. Should have been red, but maybe just green. It's easier to see it and notice it. But look, overall, for a space shuttle or a spaceship, I think it has quite a lot of playable features. I don't think you could sort of ask for too much more that they could have done with that. Finally, let's have a look at the minifigures. So you get 6 minifigures. You get Kylo Ren, of course, and you can see there just some simple printing, nothing too dramatic. And the cool thing about Kylo Ren is that he actually comes with both the hood and the helmet. So I actually prefer him with the hood personally, but I think most people are going to prefer the helmet or the mask, whatever you want to call it. I noted there that the hilt is actually a metallic dark color. It's not a sort of chrome silvery color that they've used for a lot of other lightsabers, so it's kind of a bit disappointing, but I guess it does stand out a little bit too much. Then we get a Stormtrooper, and this is probably the best minifigure in my opinion in terms of just detail, and you can just see all the little print, and it's hard to actually show it on the camera, but even the helmet, you got all these little bits of print, and just a very detailed minifigure. Pretty simple gun though, and he does have a proper face. Now both of these figures actually come with a little sash. The Stormtrooper comes with a little red sash on his shoulder, and Kylo Ren does come with a cape that only goes halfway down. I just didn't bother to put them on, but you do get the cape. And then you get General Hux, and he actually has a really cool pistol. You don't actually get any spare pistols, but anyway. And he has some pretty cool like trench coat type printing on there. You get the little First Order printing on the helmet, or the head, sorry, the hat. And oops, nothing too special on the back there. And then you get the first, I forget her name, first crew officer or something, and pretty similar deal to General Hux really, with similar style printing. I quite like her face. She's obviously a woman, but she looks quite stern and sort of, it's a very strong woman, very determined type woman. And then you get these two guys. You get two of these guys, which are the First Order crew officers. Kind of weird looking guys, really, but obviously very dark, sort of evil kind of looking people. Very strange helmets, and they actually have alternate, different prints. They're different skin colors, which I kind of found amusing, like this whole lineup, because even though you can't see these guys' faces, it's like, okay, we've got a black person, a white person, got female managers, everything's like politically correct. The feminists are happy, everyone's happy. So that's Lego in 2015 or 2016. One thing I would have liked is another Stormtrooper, because usually you have, actually I forgot to show you, I'll show you that now. Normally sort of you've got the evil guy and then you've got the Stormtrooper on either side. So I would have liked another Stormtrooper, but it is what it is. But I just forgot to show you that the bottom of the ship actually does also open up, and it's not enough to get a minifigure in there if it's attached on the ground. But yeah, there's like a little locking mechanism under there, but you can do that, and you can fit all 6 minifigures in the ship as well. So look, overall, if I had to give this a rating, which I don't really like doing, but you guys can see for yourself whether you like it or not, but I'd give it a rating of 8 out of 10. I think it is very expensive, and the wings not going out in the V shape are the things that I would dock it on. But you can fix those things. Again, you can see how to fix it in my other video with the wing. The price, I think it's going to start going on sale from now. The hype's kind of more or less over now in March 2016. So this should go on sale from soon, or you can find it online cheaper. The extra Stormtrooper would have been good. The red cannons or another spare would have been good, but that's not something to get too worried about. So if you fix those 2 main issues, I think it's a fantastic set. I really highly recommend it. You also do get a lot of spare pieces, which I've actually done here. I've added some spare pieces on the front, which that doesn't show in the instructions, and I've added a couple of little extra things on here, and little at the top here I've just added some extra, nothing structurally different, but overall highly recommend this set. It's a great set to have in your collection and display. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.